Alrighty guys, welcome. Lesson 3, Appositives. We started a little bit of this on Monday and we're going to finish up our lesson on Appositives today in Lesson 3 and Lesson 4. So turn with me to the page. It says Lesson 3, Appositives at the top, and look at the definition at the top. An appositive is a noun or pronoun that follows another noun or pronoun, essentially identifying it or explaining it. Let's look at the example. The playwright William Shakespeare is world-renowned. Okay, there's another part of this where we're talking about these essential and non-essential. We're talking about how we punctuate, if we use the commas or if we don't use the commas. So if I said the playwright is world-renowned, all playwrights are world-renowned. Which playwright is world-renowned? We need that William Shakespeare to explain which playwright is world-renowned. So William Shakespeare, because it follows the playwright, William Shakespeare is considered the appositive, but it's considered essential. So there's no commas around that appositive William Shakespeare. Okay? Appositives are often set apart with commas from its noun unless it is a single word that is essential to understanding the sentence. Now, William Shakespeare wasn't a single word, but it was essential to understanding the sentence. So the location of each appositive, look at these in the examples. We'll look at them in just a second. If a proper noun, what's a proper noun? So it's not doctor, it's Dr. so-and-so. It's not president, it's President Trump. It's not dog or cat, it would be their name. It's not teacher, it's Mrs. Atkinson. Proper nouns, the ones that you capitalize, the ones that tell you specifically who you're talking about. Proper nouns. If a proper noun is being referred to by the appositive, so you have a proper noun followed by an appositive, it is necessary to use a comma, okay? And that would make sense. If I'm using a proper noun, we know exactly who we're talking about. This information that I'm putting in the appositive is not necessary to understanding which Mrs. Atkinson it is. Now, I suppose there could be more than one Mrs. Atkinson, but if it's a proper noun, we're going to assume that we know who we're talking about. There aren't more than one President Trump or something like that. So if it's a proper noun, you need to use those commas. So let's look at the examples. Dr. Smithson, proper noun, his pediatrician advised rest and plenty of fluids. So his pediatrician is the appositive. It is set off by commas. We have a proper noun before it. Philippe, again, a proper noun. Her best student offered to return and speak to the class. So Philippe offered to return and speak to the class. We would know who we're talking about and what he did. The her best student is just more information to explain to us who better understand who Philippe is, and it is set off by commas. Okay, so you don't need commas when the appositive is simply providing clarification. So his wife Beatrice baked the cookies. Without Beatrice, we do not know who the wife is, so we don't know her name. So it's just a single word that's clarifying things a little bit. It's giving us a little bit of information about her. His wife Beatrice baked the cookies. We don't need the commas there. Appositive phrases typically follow the noun, but occasionally they precede it. So look at this next example. A handsome and obedient dog, comma, Ralph was often the center of attention. Okay, so Ralph is our proper noun again, and it's he was the center of attention, but we can put a little bit of information before him, before we introduce his name, and that is an appositive, and it's coming before the noun. So watch for those. You'll see some of those as well. Okay, so you're going to read the following sentences and write the noun of the appositive on the line next to it. And then you're going to underline the noun to which the appositive refers. So example 1 doesn't have any underlining, and it has the wrong word written out there to the side. So this is a mistake. What they said you need to do is underline the noun to which the appositive refers, and then write the noun of the appositive on the line. So let's look at example 1. Sam, my old dog, is the best friend anyone could ask for. So the appositive is my old dog. The noun of the appositive is dog. That is what should be written on the line out to the side. And then what should be underlined? It said to underline the noun to which the appositive refers. So Sam is your proper noun, and dog is the noun of the appositive. So dog needs to be written out on the side, not Sam, and Sam needs to be underlined. So let's look at example 2. An outspoken friend, Jennifer Apollo, set up a meeting for him. Okay, so Jennifer Apollo is your noun that your appositive, an outspoken friend, is referring to. So Jennifer Apollo is underlined, and then your appositive is an outspoken friend, and friend is the noun of your appositive. So that example is correct, but the example before it is not. Okay, so let's look at number 1 together and just make sure that we're not too confused. The principal, Mrs. Brown, attended our writing seminar. Okay, so we don't see commas here, so it's not really clear where our appositive is. So think it through for just a second. What do you think the appositive is, and what do you think the noun that the appositive is referring to is? The principal, Mrs. Brown, attended our writing seminar. So Mrs. Brown is the appositive, okay? And it's like the example up above, Beatrice, right? It's providing clarification as to which principal or who it is, okay? So the principal is the noun that Mrs. Brown is referring to. So you would underline principal and you would write Mrs. Brown. She's the noun of the appositive. You would write that out on the line. Let's look at one more. Mr. Amador, the local congressman, spoke at our debate. This one does have commas, so it makes it a little bit clearer. So our appositive is what? The local congressman. And that appositive is referring to Mr. Amador, okay? So you're underlining Mr. Amador, and you are writing on the line congressman, not the whole appositive, but just the noun out of the appositive, the local congressman. Congressman is the noun, that's what you're writing on the line. So go ahead and finish up through 10 on that page.